Imagine these two people. One guy reads for hours all the time. Every single day he sits down, he reads a book, he finishes like a book a week, and he talks about reading so much. All he does is read. That's his entire personality. But he does nothing else. Now imagine the other guy. He doesn't read, but he does things. He goes to the gym. He has hobbies. He has missions. He has goals that he's accomplishing. Who's better? It's the second guy. That's why reading can be very inhibiting to some people, and why reading isn't the most important thing that we do. You know, I presume that my channel is very book focused, so a lot of people who watch it are going to be book talk nerds or book fans. But you guys need to realize the biggest danger of reading is inhibition. If you've read Hamlet, you're going to act like Hamlet. You're inhibiting yourself, and you're basically procrastinating action. So reading is useless if you don't do anything. Like, see this, I read this entire book, Brothers Karamazov, nearly 1,000 pages. If I didn't do anything after reading that book, it would have been useless. Any book that you have, any book that you read, if you don't act or if you don't learn something, it's a useless book. You need to do things with it. You know, reading books alone will do nothing for you. It's basically the same as scrolling online, except it might be a bit of a less unhealthy habit. People need to act from books. Like, I'll give you an example. A lot of people have read this, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I don't like Stoicism whatsoever, but I'll just use this because it's popular. If you just read this book and just say, wow, it's profound. I like what Aurelius says, live in accordance to nature. That's what everyone loves to yap about when they talk about Marcus Aurelius, and don't react to outside things. If you say those things but you don't act on them, if you don't change the way you act or do different things when you read a book, it's completely useless. So I'm going to give you a little mission to do once you've finished this video. The next book that you read, get a notebook, write down what you learned, and write down things you're going to change because of reading that book. I'll tell you something I learned from Brothers Karamazov, right? The biggest thing that I learned is to act with more love, okay? Just because I learned that and just because I said that, it doesn't mean anything's changed. I have to act that way. You have to act more loving when you read this book. That's how I actually learned something from this book. Learning something just by knowing what it says, that's not learning. Learning is when you can understand what it says and then act with it so it can actually change you. Like, that's why we read, right? We read to change things, to improve. Unless you read to enjoy yourself, which is fine, but you can do so much more with it. The benefit of reading isn't just the enjoyment of reading, it's learning, and it's being able to act from what you've learned. Another really popular book that a lot of people like to read is Nietzsche. Beyond Good and Evil is the most popular one that everyone likes. If you just read Nietzsche and then you talk to friends about how morality is a lie and everyone follows the will to power, you've done nothing. You actually need to read it and understand it and then act upon it, okay? Now, this isn't the best book to act with. Nietzsche, you need to read all of his books, but let's just talk about Beyond Good and Evil in general. So realizing that a lot of people act fake, that their actual intentions are not to do with morality. You can use that so much in day-to-day life, with your friends, with your family, with work, business, whatever. You have to act upon it, and you have to learn how people work, and you have to actually utilize the teachings of this book. Nobody does it. Not a single person does it. I know how Nietzsche readers are like. They love to be critical of humanity. They love to critique society, critique morality, and say, it's all a lie, it's all for the will to power. But that does nothing. You've just wasted your time. You might as well have done something else, like go to the gym or something. Go learn a musical instrument, go learn a language. That's at least useful. Like, you can act with that. You can do something with that. If you're just reading and then you're not doing anything, it's completely useless. So in conclusion, please, 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 please do not become the person that just talks about how much they like to read and you read books and do nothing with it. That is just such a useless thing to do. You're completely wasting the potential of reading books. You have to learn and you have to act from what you've learned. Please do that. Do what I said. Get a piece of paper, write down what you learned from the book, and write down things you can change that you can do, that you've learned from the book. Like, learn from Brothers Karamazov, you can talk about how much more loving you can be. From Nietzsche, you can talk about how differently you want to act and how you can act more authentically to yourself. Or say Meditations, you can try and act more in accordance to nature. I don't particularly value that teaching, but I bet you there's a bunch of Stoic bros that are watching this, so that's for you. Anyways, I'm gonna start reading Bulgakov today, so I might do a book review of him. I might start doing book reviews actually. Anyways.